All right, let's roll on. We are in afternoon action. Next up, San Francisco 49ers 9-7, 5-3 on the road at LA Rams 12-4, 5-2 at home. Man, it's not an easy route to the playoffs now for these 49ers. We're at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. Let's start with the market here. We have, oh shoot, sorry, that's the wrong one. Pull this up here. All right, we have these Niners opening up as 6-point dogs, quickly down to 4, immediately down to 4. Didn't take long. There's total opening up of 44.5. There are a couple 44s on the board. When we go over to the cash flow, we have 2,761 tickets in, 29% of the tickets, 91% of the cash on the Rams. Wow. Public on the Niners, but big bets on the Rams. And it's moved 2 points towards the Niners. So confusing information there. 8% of tickets on the under, 52% of cash on that under. Niners coming off an underwhelming 23-7 win at home over the Texans can clinch their second postseason appearance in 5 years under Shanahan with a win next week against the Rams or a loss by the Saints. They were down at the half 7-3 and outscored the Texans 20-0 in the second half. With Jimmy G injured, Trey Lance was 16-23 for 249 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Lance led the Niners to 5 scores on their final 7 drives. Brandon Ayuk continued his late season ascent, catching 4 passes for 91 yards. Deebo Samuel caught 3 passes for 63 yards and a touchdown. Elijah Mitchell ran 21 times for 94 yards. The Niners' defense was strong, finished with 3 sacks, 8 quarterback hits. Marcel Harris had a pick. Shanahan says he expects Garoppolo to be able to throw at practice on Wednesday and that he will have a better idea of who will start the finale then. COVID issues. Cornerback Dante Johnson, this all yesterday. Cornerback Jimmy Ward, cornerback Kawan Williams, all on the reserve COVID list yesterday. I wonder how that will hurt them. We'll let Bebsie break it down for us. Rams coming off their 5th straight game with a big 2019 victory at the Ravens. They're on the cusp of their 2nd straight NFC West title. They were down 16-7 after 3 quarters. Stafford 26-35 for 309 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. He also lost a fumble. Cooper Kupp continued his spectacular season. He caught 6 passes for 95 yards and a touchdown. Tyler Higbee caught 6 passes for 69 yards. Sony Michel ran 19 times for 74 yards and a touchdown. The defense was strong. 5 sacks, 7 quarterback hits. Jordan Fuller had an interception. Safety Nick Scott suffered a broken thumb in the wind. And Cam Akers was inactive last week. A lot of people thought he'd be in the lineup. He was inactive, and he's listed as questionable this week. Here we go. Bebsie, Niners, Rams, a lot on the line. Take it away.
Well, first of all, it benefits both of these teams to tie. So what they should do is agree ahead of time to not run any plays, kneel the entire game, tie. They both benefit greatly. But if you must, I think you have to take the Niners and the points. My big hang up on this is there's major personnel questions, I think, for both teams, the Rams being who is actually going to start. If Stafford is indeed nursing injuries, are we going to see him for the whole game? And San Francisco, we don't know who's playing quarterback. We can assume Lance because Kyle Shanahan said if Jimmy Garoppolo is 100%, then he's going to play. But how can you be 100% 2 weeks removed from tearing a ligament in a finger in your throwing hand? So I think it probably ends up being Trey Lance, who once he settled down last week was very good, impressive at times, showing off why they drafted him so early. But big question marks in that secondary. If K'Wan Williams is out and Jimmy Ward is out and they can't play, I don't think there's a more important nickel corner that is never talked about than K'Wan Williams. That guy's an absolute stud. They miss him greatly when he's not in the lineup. So unless he comes back from COVID, that's a huge problem, especially facing Cooper Kupp on the other side. Now, the other thing is Mosley Greenlaw might be back. Alshire is not. So there's some serious question marks on this San Francisco defense. Plus, it's 5 straight wins for San Francisco against the Rams. Shanahan seems to just be in McVay's head, but the thing I hate about that is if you bet on that, and this is much like the Jags thing I was talking about earlier and why it was silly and I wouldn't take the Jags. If you're betting based on that insinuates that the streak will never end and they'll always just win. So it's a really, really tough call here. I think I have to lean the Niners and the points, but only because they're being given points here. I understand that being bet down quickly. If you got the 6, congratulations. I think this is a very tight game.
Niners Rams, no move for Bebsie at this point. And you would prefer Trey Lance to be at quarterback for the Niners?
I just think he can do more than Jimmy, especially if Jimmy's not healthy. When Jimmy's 100%, he is an efficient game manager. When he is not, he's a bad quarterback. And we saw it. He threw away that game against the Titans. And it was because he wasn't healthy. He wasn't playing at 100%, and he was terrible. And that loss could end up costing them the playoffs. And if he comes back and plays and he's not 100%, then that really hurts the Niners. So if they announce that Jimmy is quarterback, I think you should run to bet the Rams because there's no way he's 100%.
All right. Okay, let's move.